retention, expansion, and attraction of industrial and commercial business. They'll receive a $200 gift certificate good at Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs for being our WHOW WEZC Lincoln Printers Business of the Month. Nominate a business you'd like featured by emailing us at whow@randyradio.com.
Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs salute this local business for helping make the community grow. And when it comes to envelopes, wedding invitations, signs, banners, vinyl wraps, and more, find us online at lincolnprintersinc.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. In studio with us today, we have the ladies from the Clinton Chamber of Commerce, and Executive Director Janice Peterson joins us. Good morning, Janice.
Good morning, Seth.
Oh, and introduce us to Erin here.
This is Erin Angel. She is our new administrative specialist. She joined us in late November.
Very good. Well, welcome, Erin. How are you this morning?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, Erin, tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the chamber these days and how the process of learning all those things is going.
Well, it's a bit confusing, but going good. I just kind of take care of the front stuff, customers' phones, just stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Helping Janice with what she needs.
Sure. Very good. Well, we'll continue to kind of check in with you as we go through this morning, but glad to have you in and welcome to the chamber, I guess.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, Janice, I know that something is of top of mind for you this morning. Obviously, the Christmas parade is come and gone for this year, and as you take over the executive director role, some announcements out of the Christmas parade. What do you have for us today?
We have decided to change the parade with the board approval, obviously, to Saturday, December 2nd. It's always been the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and that's been a little bit difficult for the band and to get entrance. So we decided to move it. So it will actually be moving forward the first Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Just because if Thanksgiving's early, it can't be the first Saturday in December.
Okay.
This year it does happen to be the first Saturday, December 2nd.
All right.
So obviously things will go out later in the year about that, but we wanted people to put it on their calendar that it's not the Saturday after Thanksgiving this time.
It'll be the Saturday after the Saturday of
Right.
Thanksgiving. Gotcha.
Right.
Very good. Very good. Now, will this conflict with other Christmas parades? Because as soon as you said that, I'm thinking, oh no, will there be other parades going on those
Right
days?
now there is not. We looked at the local lineup to see when everybody's was, and ours pretty much is the last one.
Okay.
Everything else is before Thanksgiving, actually.
Okay, gotcha. Very good. So changing up the date a little bit, and it sounds like basically just in hopes of having more participation.
More participation. It'll help the bands out. We've had the last couple of years a combined high school, junior high band, and because a lot of the kids have been on
Traveling
that weekend.
Sure.
So if we can get more kids home, then more in the band,
Sure.
and just more. A lot of people travel that weekend. So if we can eliminate or make sure that they're in town, and we can get hopefully more participation in the parade.
Very good. Well, we look forward to that, and thank you for that announcement here for this morning. And so as we roll along, we cross over the first of the year, Janice, and I'm sure for you, coming up is, things like annual meeting, business expo, then on to May Days, and the spring and the first quarter of the year probably really goes by fast for the chamber with everything on the calendar for you.
It does. We are still in planning of the annual meeting. We should have a date announced. Hopefully by the end of next week, we'll have something announced there on when, where, how, all that kind of stuff.
What are you thinking for that this year? Like, will it be an in-person thing? That's
what we're working on. We're working on an in-person banquet here in Clinton. And then our annual awards will be at that banquet.
Okay.
I want to remind all the chamber members to check their email that the ballots for the awards are in their email. So we hope to get some good participation there. We already have pretty good. But then as soon as we know the banquet particulars, we will definitely get them out there.
Do you mind if I ask what's kind of the holdup there? Is it like a venue? Is it a time? Like, what are you thinking?
It was kind of a venue thing. Trying to find the right venue that had an opening date. And there's still just a lot of places are looking for staff.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's been, can they can we get a place that's got enough staff?
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to the annual meeting, once again, like, will it be a Saturday or like I don't know. I guess, what are you thinking for a time?
We're looking at a Saturday night.
Okay.
And that'll be a dinner and awards.
Gotcha. Very good. So, with the annual meeting, Janice, as you kind of put that together, what are you learning about that process and just, kind of the logistics of everything? Like, what are you learning about all this?
This one's actually kind of a relatively easy one for me because I've planned events before.
Gotcha.
So, I've looked for venues. I've looked for, I've not done a dinner one. So that's going to be just a little bit different to find out what foods are available.
Okay.
At what cost.
Yeah.
And getting something that everybody likes
Mhm.
and that kind of thing. It's all a learning curve.
Well, it's interesting you say the aspect of places needing staff to accommodate, an event like this. That's that's the last thing I would have thought of. I would have thought of there's a huge demand for, these spaces, and trying to find a date has probably been tricky, but the staffing, I never would have thought of that.
Staffing has been our biggest issue.
That's interesting stuff. Well, anything else on annual meeting, anything of that nature you want to put out there for
Not
us?
on that.
When do you hope to have things nailed down by?
Hopefully by the end of next week.
Okay.
I may even have the venue decided today.
Oh,
Just
okay.
waiting on a couple board members for
Gotcha.
their input.
Very good. Well, keep us in mind as that decision comes about.
I will.
And
Definitely will.
for sure. And we'll look forward to all the details that come with that. Very good. Now, February, relatively quiet for the chamber, correct?
It's still in the planning stages for things upcoming.
Mhm.
So we've got our business expo March 30th at the high school gym.
Okay.
We are in the midst of planning that right now.
Mhm.
The registration form is on our website, www.clintonislechamber.com.
Okay.
And the more we get those back as soon as we can, we will have an email go out, a mailing go out.
Mhm.
That'll go out here pretty quick.
Gotcha.
And then following on the expo's heels is May Days.
May Days, for sure.
So,
for
and
sure.
That's a big,
Going to be a big one as well.
yes.
Now, with the expo and May Days, they're kind of, back to back, if you will. Which one takes up most of your attention at this point in time, kind of early, mid-January?
I would say the expo right now.
It still does.
And then May Days is going to be very quickly thereafter.
Okay. Very good. Well, let's talk a little bit about the expo. And as you put that together, what kind of plans do you still need to come together? Like, what's on your mind as you put that event together?
We've secured the gym at the high school. So that's already done. And now is just getting businesses to participate. And we've got, like I said, we've got the registration up on our website.
Okay.
And we just encourage everybody to be there. It's a great networking for all businesses.
It certainly is. Are you and just kind of, I don't know if you've like watched the expo from afar or been to it before, but like adding your own little twist or, finding something, new to add to it. Is there anything that comes to mind for you there?
I think right now this year, we're just going to keep things the way they've been. Yet I've been to several of them in the past and they're successful. And so don't change what's not broke.
Right. Exactly. So, and with that said, you mentioned the networking. I mean, I've talked to, other kind of chambers around the area, and as the success of their events kind of change and the way they do things shift, it feels like Clinton has something very unique with its expo, because there is an element of networking that happens at these events. I mean, you see it, and the amount of people that come in for it, people still come out for the expo.
Right.
So there's something there, I feel like.
There is. And we have to, we have to give Marion credit for that, Seth. Marion has held this chamber together and all these events amazingly for the last over 20 years.
Right.
So big shoes to fill on my part. And the expo, I think, is just fun. And it is special. It is not too many places that can get, 50 or so businesses all together at the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
And plenty of foot traffic from the public.
For sure. So, and a lot of just highlighting not only businesses, nonprofits, and the things they're doing. So, yeah, it's a great event, and look forward to it again. It comes up on March 30th.
March 30th. The Shred event will be there as well.
Yeah.
Heartland Bank is sponsoring that. That will be there.
Okay.
And yeah, we're just hoping to have a great turnout as well.
Excellent. Very good. So be a part of that. Again, that's March 30th. Is that 5 to 8?
4 to 7.
4 to 7. 4 to 7.
At
Gotcha.
the high school gym.
All right. Very good. So ways off, but again, put it on the calendar. Our guests in studio this morning, Janice Peterson and Erin Angel, with us here for today as we continue on the WHOW Morning Show. Then it's again off to May Days. Do we know much about May Days at this point?
Not yet. We're in the process. We have the dates, and it is the 19th through 21st of May. And we do have the carnival secured, same carnival we had last year.
Okay.
And then the rest of it we'll be starting to work on soon.
I feel like May Days is such a at least from watching from afar, I feel like it would be such a huge undertaking, because you coordinate, like you said, the carnival. You've got nonprofits that get involved. You have to coordinate, with city officials and police. And I just feel like it's a huge undertaking. What are you learning about that?
That is a huge undertaking. Thank goodness for notes from last year and the years before. Just one step at a time.
Yeah.
I've got a checkoff list, and I just need to go, one thing at a time and just cross it off and make sure it's done. Gotcha.
When does that really kind of start to become your main focus?
It will probably start in February.
Yeah. Getting everything together. Gotcha. Do we have dates on May Days, by the way? I don't know.
19th through 21st of May.
Did you say that already?
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Spaced out on that one. Very good. So a lot of things on the calendar. Like I said, the spring, it's just kind of one thing after another. The first quarter of the year. Very good. Janice, anything else on the first quarter and just planning and preparations?
I don't think so. I think that's a lot on our plates, but we got it.
Very good. Well, we look forward to all of it. Where do folks go to learn more about the Chamber of Commerce?
They can give us a call at 217-935-3364 or on our website, www.clintonilchamber.com.
For sure. That is Janice Peterson and Erin Angel with the Clinton Chamber of Commerce, our guests in studio. More to come with them on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Friday. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. Corn slightly lower. Beans starting the day mostly lower, and wheat slightly lower. March corn 6.70 and a quarter, down 3/4. May corn down half a penny, 6.69. July corn unchanged, 6.61 and a half. March beans starting the day 15.15 and a half, down 3. May beans down 4, 15.15 and a quarter. July beans 15.13 and a half, down a nickel. March Chicago wheat 7.41 and a quarter, down a penny and a half. May wheat 7.48 and 3/4, down 2. July wheat down 3, 7.51 and a quarter. March bean meal 4.80.60, that's down 70 cents. March bean oil 62.02, down $1.23. Opening numbers on this Friday morning. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
At Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Baum Motor Company in Farmer City, our job is to help you and solve your transportation needs. This is Scott Baum. Both in Clinton or Farmer City, we'll listen and find options for a different vehicle, or we'll give you repair options to keep that car, truck, or SUV safe and trouble-free so you can continue with your busy schedule. If it has to do with transportation, we're here to help. Visit our full-service team today in Clinton or Farmer City. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
Here's owner Dave Jackson from your Clinton Save-A-Lot on how inflation is affecting us.
Inflation rate, and I can't give you the exact number, but it's been like 1%, 1.5%, maybe 2%. It's been a rate that the economy can handle well. Wages go up faster than inflation, or at least as fast. People don't notice it. Now it's multiple times a year. It is not 8%. I don't know where exactly the government comes up with this inflation rate.
Despite that, Dave still provides you selection and savings at your Clinton Save-A-Lot.
Hope to see you soon.
In this WHOW 75th anniversary feature, we hear from Larry and all of his quote-unquote sidekicks.
A few things changed here at the radio station from when I was here in 1986 full-time, and then when I came back in 2004. First of all, back in 86, they were still playing 45 RPM records on, for the country music during the day. We had the old cart machines and played the commercials off the cartridges, reel-to-reel tapes for things and stuff like that. And came back in 2004. And not that WHOW was on the cutting edge by any means back then, but everything was pretty much, computerized on the computer. The commercials, the music, everything was loaded into the computer. So it took a little bit for me to relearn and, and adjust to that. But actually, it made life a lot easier. But when we first got things started back up in 2004, Jim Sowers was here. He was our manager at that time. Maria Marks was our news person at that time. And then I was the sports guy. And we kind of had a 3-person morning show for a little while. And then they got the FM up and running. And we went over on the FM station for a while, and they put sports talk on the AM station, and Jim Sowers started doing a morning talk show on that. So it was just myself and Maria Marks doing the morning show. And then we flipped the stations, and we were back over on AM with the morning show with myself and Maria, and the sports one on FM at that point, about midsummer of that first year, 2004. I had some different sidekicks over those last few years I was here. Kevin Barlow was here for a while with me on the morning show, and I came up with Beat the Barlow contest for our listeners. People might remember that, where they could call in and we play like a trivia pursuit type game. And I throw out a question, and our guest would try to answer it, and Kevin would write down his answer. And most of the time, Kevin lost. Most of our listeners were much smarter than he was at that, so we had a lot of fun with that program.
That was Larry on this WHOW 75th anniversary feature.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Our guest in studio today, again, Janice Peterson, Executive Director of the Clinton Chamber of Commerce, and Erin Angel joins us as well. And Erin, I didn't mean to skip over you there in the first segment, so let's highlight you this morning. Folks, if they come into the Chamber, are going to be seeing a lot of you. So tell us about your journey to the Clinton Chamber. How did you end up there?
Well, for the last 10 and a half years, I was the circulation manager at the Clinton Journal. And then I decided to go for a different adventure.
Sure. So coming on to the Chamber, you mentioned, kind of at the front desk, learning the ins and outs of things. What are you learning so far? What's like kind of kept you busy lately, I guess?
I have been working on a couple different pamphlets, trying to kind of change those around, get those updated. I've just kind of learned the ins and outs of helping run the chamber and keeping customers going and phone calls and all that stuff.
You mentioned kind of refreshing pamphlets and things of that nature. What do you bring to that you think you can infuse a new look or whatever to it?
Well, currently I am working on the Clinton area guide to food and drink. It is a little pamphlet that has all of the bars and grills, diners, places to get beverages that you can just kind of open and say, hey, this looks good. I'm just kind of revamping it, updating it, changing it around a little bit.
Sure. There's probably a lot of that in terms of, updating those, keeping like social media current, things of that nature. How much are you finding out about all the information the chamber puts out at a given time?
It's definitely a lot more than I thought at first. But yeah, there's quite a bit.
For sure. So when it comes to ladies, and Janice, feel free to chime in as well, the role of social media in promotion of these things. Folks see the pamphlets when they're at various, businesses or other places around the community, but also social media, a great way to promote the community as well. Janice, speak to that a little bit.
It definitely is. We use social media a lot. Excuse me, if we see something that one of our chamber members has posted on their page, we share it just to kind of keep it shared along the way, because then other people are going to share it off our page, and it keeps everybody noticed. When we do events, we make sure that they heavily promote the events.
Sure.
Just social media is very popular, as everybody knows, and that's kind of where everybody gets all their information.
Yeah, no doubt.
We make sure ours is update and current.
Sure, very good. Well, and continuing on that social media conversation, Facebook is where everyone is at, but there's evolving places like, obviously Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok. Erin or Janice, either of you have visions of, exploring those options? I know the chamber is on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, and Twitter, but any thoughts on adding those, kind of flavors to your presence?
We haven't yet.
Yeah.
We don't do Twitter hardly. We do have a Twitter account, but that's just not something that we do regularly. And TikTok's kind of on the back burner. I don't know what we're going to do, if anything, with that.
Yeah, for sure. But obviously a lot of possibilities with all those things.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'll be curious what you ladies have in store for us as we kind of go forward, for sure. Erin, as you come on the chamber, I just kind of thought of this. What do you hope to bring to, what's happening within the chamber walls and the community and such?
Well, just kind of helping to keep promoting the businesses and just different ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah. Have you gotten to know new businesses? Like the business community in DeWitt County, very vast, and I feel like every now and then I'm learning of new businesses we have. What have you learned there?
Well, working at the Journal, I also did part-time sales. So
Oh, sure.
I am very familiar with a lot of businesses around DeWitt County.
Mhm.
So that's actually definitely going to help me with continuing the businesses that I know and following up and finding out more and stuff like that. So
now you mentioned you were in circulation. Does that transfer at all to promotion of the community, promotion of businesses, things of that nature?
It kind of helps because like I know a lot of people now just from who subscribe to the Journal and who we worked with and stuff like that. So that definitely helps in knowing who people are and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, as we kind of wrap up here, ladies, we still have yet a few minutes with us. Anything else, by the way, Janice on Erin, Erin on yourself? Anything I missed you ladies want to talk about?
I just think I'm happy to have Erin on board. I think she's got a lot of talent that she is bringing to the Journal. She's amazing at the front desk. When people walk in the door, she's just great.
Sure. Very good. Glad to have her on board.
Definitely.
Yeah, very good. Well, I'll tell you what, Janice, you and I, let's talk a few minutes about board members. You've got some new ones. What's going on here?
We do. Election of board members was at the end of December, and we the chamber members reelected Connie Levitt from Levitt once more for another term, and then elected Lance White from First National Bank. So he's on now. Stephanie Torbert from DeWitt Savings Bank stepped in to fill a vacant position at the end of last year, so she's on the board.
Okay.
So
is Jared still the board president?
Jared is still the board president. Our board meeting is the 23rd, and they can decide at that point if they're keeping their executive roles or if they're not.
Okay.
And I think at this point everybody's staying put.
Do you know the cycles, like when a president comes on, when they have to go off? Like, what are those cycles like?
When the presidents, they can are on for at least a year. Jared could decide that he doesn't want to be president this coming 2023, and then somebody else would step in that capacity.
Okay.
The board members are on for 3-year terms.
Oh, okay.
And they rotate off at different times. So, like for example, Josh Schaffner is off this time. And Lance came on. Kind of in that. Yeah. Ironically, through the same business, but.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's how he came back on.
Now, why does it work that way? Why, continue to refresh board members and that sort of thing?
Just because with new ideas, everybody has great ideas, and we just need to keep evolving. And so something doesn't get stale, we move on and off. You can run again for another term if you want to as a board member.
Gotcha.
So then you have to be off for a little bit before you can run back on again.
Janice, any final thoughts on the board? Anything we didn't touch on there you want to put out for us?
I don't think so. I think we're good. We got new board members, excited for 2023 for all of us.
Definitely.
There's a lot of possibilities, and again, like I said, we have big shoes to fill, but we're up for the task. And I encourage anybody who has suggestions to contact me at the chamber.
And the number is?
Number is 217-935-3364. And my door's open.
Very good. Ladies, thanks for coming out this morning. Again, Janice Peterson, Erin Angel with the Clinton Chamber of Commerce. Network News is now.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton 90.